I don't hate Linux, but I think it's very important to warn people who aren't software engineers that Linux isn't free if you value your time as a consumer. It's only free for software engineers who know how to fix the issues with Linux when they do arise. Nothing works out of the box when you're using Linux. Like, for example, like a lot of things just isn't supported. Like, you could technically run things such as like Steam games, but you still have to run into issues that you have to do with like the setup. Like, for example, a Proton version might not work, or for whatever reason the anti-cheat is completely blocking things and it completely borks it from trying to even run on Linux at all. And also sometimes you might get minor issues with like the Wi-Fi drivers, or like the sound just sounding extremely weird when you're trying to use Linux. And when you run into such issues, you're going to be wanting to ask the community, hey, I'm running into these problems. You know how I can fix it? And a lot of times you usually get extremely unusually unhelpful advice. In particular, what the advice is to just install yet another Linux distro, which is just absolutely stupid. Because one time I saw someone mentioning, okay, these are some issues you'll run into with Linux. The person mentioned that they were daily driving Ubuntu. Then literally this comment says, I would say that's part of the problem. If you're willing to try again, you can try Pop! OS or Fedora KDE. You can also make it look like Mac OS. And I'm going like, dude, that is a 0 IQ take. And like, that thing is so stupid that I don't need to go on TikTok for an entire year just with how much brain rot was contained within that comment. Okay, and the main reason why the idea to suggest a switch a distro just for like minor driver issues is because it's like telling someone buy a new car to fix your gas cap. Now, if it was a Linux distro that wasn't very well funded, that would make sense. But if it's like something like Fedora that's funded by Red Hat, a multi-billion-dollar company, or Canonical, who's also very well funded, that run Ubuntu, it makes absolutely zero sense to do that. And that doesn't actually resolve like the actual issues that the person is running into. And you also got another equivalent inside like the Arch Linux community where you have people trying to do that with whenever they run into issues, they tell them to just read the guide, but they do anything but to refuse to admit that, hey, maybe this is awful for consumers. So like the main problem with like suggesting people to read the documentation with like Arch Linux in particular is because people that are just getting started, it's like an alien language to them because documentation assumes that you have the prerequisite knowledge. This is why typically when someone's a very beginner programmer, they still ask questions even after they try to read the documentation because quite simply they don't understand it. And all these issues that you run into with Linux, I think is very easily resolved if you are a software engineer or like working like IT or something like that and actually have to interface with Linux for your job, because you already know like all the debugging stuff. You already have to do the stuff with like fixing Linux so that works as you expect it to. This was something that was able to help me daily drive Ubuntu for years during college. But for like your average typical consumer, I have to be completely honest. Like things, it's not going to work out of the box for you. It's not going to be your perfect replacement for Windows. Now, some people cite some anecdote that they ran into it and they love everything, but like ask them how much do they tinker with Linux. They're probably going to say a lot, okay, if they're being 100% honest with you. Because even with my Ubuntu installation, like, basically, I would say that's probably the least config operating system I ran into. But, like, Arch Linux, I had to do a lot of fighting with the operating system just to get it working on the initial installation with, like, the Wi-Fi and, like, the Bluetooth situation. I completely gave up on that. I had to do a lot of fighting just to be able to get connected to the Wi-Fi. And a lot of these people that end up running through these issues, a lot of them end up giving up and becoming what I like to call distro hoppers, where they keep hopping from distro to distro because they keep looking for the Windows-like experience, but they know that the distro that they're using sucks, but they don't want to admit it out loud. Now, if you're an engineer, you're able to get those problems resolved pretty quickly, and Linux literally is free for you. But for your average consumer, Linux is not free if you value your time. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you know when future videos come out.